Georgia is absolutely stalking the trenches when it comes to the recruiting trail. 25 commits right now in the 2024 class. 10 of those cats are on either the offensive or the defensive line. So this is great to have big human beings, but why is it important? Why does it matter that they're acquiring these big human beings at such an alarming rate? Couple of things we got to take into account here. Really quickly, though, make sure you're subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel. We talk ball every single day. The Hard Count is live twice a week. It's almost college football season. We need you locked in with us here, man. College football community wants you a part of it. Appreciate you in advance for doing so. Okay, the reason why this is interesting to me, why this is, I think, rather important, if you will. This is Kirby Smart prioritizing his priorities. And what I mean by that is Georgia, they have an identity. They want to be physically dominant. Well, doesn't everybody? Doesn't everybody want to be the schoolyard bully? Well, that's fine. Everybody can want that. You can say that, but to be able to recruit like that, that means something. And to take it a step further, Georgia is at a place where they have options. Like they have options to diversify the portfolio and to go after all the big-time wide receivers and go after big-time quarterbacks. They've got 2 already in this class. But even so, Georgia has added those key pieces to be dynamic offensively and defensively, but they've added the key pieces and still kept to who they are physically. Like you don't add 10 linemen at this point in your class if you don't have a distinct priority on being the bully. And like I was saying a second ago, it takes something extra to be the bully. You can't lose any edge if you're the bully. You can't control the line of scrimmage year in and year out if you don't prioritize recruiting those pieces. And Georgia, by nature of having double-digit linemen already in this 2024 cycle, is prioritizing being the bully and prioritizing their identity. And so the reason why I think this is important to talk about is Georgia has a formula that has always worked in football, and I promise you, as long as you execute it the right way, it will always work in the game of football. And that is that big human beings move small human beings. Now, the big human beings, they got to be functional, got to be athletic, got to be dynamic to a degree, but we all understand this. If I can move you and you can't move me, I'm probably going to win the football game. And having big human beings is a big part of being able to move the small human beings and being able to move the opposition how you want to move them. Perfect example of this. We were at the National Title Game Media Day. TCU's there, Georgia's there. They're walking around in sweatsuits. And it was so evident when Georgia walked into that room who had the big human beings. And that's not to knock TCU. I think it's just a testament to who Georgia is and how they have made their mark. They are the bully. And as long as you're able to be that bully, I don't care how many receivers you have. I don't care what kind of style of offense you run. You are always going to have better than a puncher's chance in that football game. And that's exactly who Georgia is. It's exactly what they've been since Kirby Smart has been there. Now, the caveat to this, if you're a Georgia fan, is you still have to have that same philosophy when it comes to your strategy on game day as you do on the recruiting trail. Meaning you still have to live with the power run game. You still have to be able to, be stout on the defensive line and call your defense accordingly. You can't get too caught up in trying to be in the latest trend offensively. You have to adapt, right? You still have to be able to be dynamic, which is that word that keeps coming back. But Georgia is both big and dynamic. People will ask this question, why is Georgia so dominant? What is it that makes them so dominant? There's a lot of pieces to that. I don't know if there's one simple answer. But there's 2 simple stats that I think tell a pretty clear story as to how Georgia has been the top dog 2 years in a row. Last year, Georgia, 5 yards per carry, number 3 in the country. Defensively, Georgia allowing only 3 yards per carry. That's top 5 in the country. Mic drop, period, the end. Those 2 stats tell you that Georgia, when they want to use those big human beings to run the football, they're getting a good push up front, and those backs are getting just about 6 yards a carry. Defensively, we're holding you at the line. You're not moving us against our will. Now, you might catch us a play here or a play there, but for the most part, 3 yards a clip, you're going to be good just about every single Saturday if you're Georgia. And so this philosophy, as long as they continue the strategy when it comes to how they're calling the offense and calling the defense, they're going to have the pieces to be that bully by nature of how they're recruiting. And if I had to make an assumption, this is who Kirby Smart wants to be. Like, this is how his football teams want to be built. Big, physical, tough, physically dominant. Everybody wants to be physically dominant, but very few programs are able to, one, have the ability to recruit this way, and then secondly, prioritize recruiting this way. So Georgia, I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. I think they are consistently going to be the bully. And like I said, they're stocking the trenches on the recruiting trail to be able to play this kind of ball for a long time to come. Keep it locked right here. We're talking ball every single day. This has been the Hard Count. I'm JD Piquel. Trey Yannity on the ones and twos, making everything that you see here happen. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. Almost college football season. We will see y'all next time. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked that video, subscribe right here so you don't miss an episode of the Hard Count and to stay up with all the other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.